Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today I'm bringing to you a ZVT on ESL Metalopolis. Spawning here in the 3 o'clock position as the blue Zerg, we have aAaNerchio. Spawning here in the 12 o'clock position as the red Terran, we have EGPuma. Now you may or may not have seen this matchup already. This is the first in a best of 3 that was played over the Intel Extreme Masters Cup. This was a game played in a tournament last week. A lot of these games have already been picked up and been cast. They're kind of all out there on YouTube already. The replays have been out there for about a week now. But because I was on vacation at the time, I didn't get to actually cast any of these games, so I decided, why the heck not? I'm going to go back and cast some of these amazing games because there were just some absolutely amazing players in that tournament. I was super excited to watch some of those games, and I caught very few of them. I think I might have watched a couple of the matchups live. I don't even remember which ones at this point. I think it was one of Sock's games, but I don't remember exactly which one. But yeah, so anyway, I'm not trying to get these out there first. Like I said, these games are out there. I just thought I wanted to check them out for myself. So I thought I would cast a few of these games. I don't know whether I'm going to do any more tomorrow or not, but for today, I'm going to do this whole best of 3. So, here we go. Jumping right into this game, aAaNerchio is saving up right now. It looks like he's going to be saving up for that hatchery, and yes, indeed, he does have a drone that he's moving down now. Looks like it is going to be a 14 hatchery, I think, and yeah, there it goes. And interesting, now we have just seen a proxy barracks go down here for Puma, but Nerchio already moved past this, so he did not scout this location yet. But will Nerchio move back here to scout this? And he actually is coming this way. It looks like he might actually scout this proxy 2 racks here from Evil Genius's Puma. And yes, indeed, Nerchio does now see that racks has gone down, and he knows that there is going to be some 2 racks pressure coming here. We can see from this rally point, if we follow this rally point all the way back, yeah, it looks like we are going to see some early pressure here. We are seeing the SCV move out right now to drop that bunker. This barracks is most likely going to be lifted off and then dropped down on this low grounds so that he can get up close and personal with those Marines right as he makes them. The spawning pool right now is only 30 seconds done. There's still another 35 seconds to go on this spawning pool, plus the time to make Zerglings. This could be very, very bad for Nerchio. This is going to be a lot of early pressure and be very hard to deal with for Nerchio. Nerchio is continuing to just make a lot more drones right now, a lot of drones coming out, so we will actually be able to see if he can control it, and very nice control here from Nerchio. Looks like Nerchio is blocking the landing of that barracks with that 1 drone, and then he even manages to, well, to get away for a second before he just gets killed by that 1 Marine. Puma now scouting the base of Nerchio, trying to see what's going on, trying to check out the timing of that spawning pool, and the spine crawler is now going up at the main. A bunker just now starting here for Puma, but these 5 drones are going to get a good surround on that SCV. 1 Marine now moving in to try to get as many kills as he can, but Puma needs to control this very carefully if he's going to want to kill these drones. These drones are actually very, very good at taking out these units, and no, I don't think this this early pressure happened quite early enough. Nerchio was able to hold off all of this pressure from Puma. Looks like because that second barracks was unable to land there for a little while, then Puma was forced to kind of do a late bunker rush here, and so he's not going to be able to do quite the pressure that he wanted, and now Nerchio is going to be on 2 base here. If we check out the Harvester tab right now, we can see that Nerchio is a little bit behind. He did lose a lot of drones in that exchange there. Very nice control there from Puma, controlling in the middle there, was able to take out a lot of drones. So Nerchio, actually, after losing that Overlord that we just saw die, is now actually going to be supply blocked, so he now cannot produce any lings, and this is kind of a lot of Marines. 5 Marines is kind of a lot of Marines to have to deal with if you have nothing. So looks like they are, well, he does have a spine crawler, I guess. Yes, there is the spine crawler, so he's not completely defenseless, but he is now continuing to drone up. He's operating now on 1 gas. Looks like he's going to be getting that Zergling speed here pretty soon, but continuing to just drone up. Looks like he feels safe, like he has defended a lot of pressure. He does have some lings that are now out on the field that are going to be able to scout around on the map. Looks like they are going to poke in here to try to see what kind of tech Puma is going for. We can see that Puma has now thrown down his 2nd command center. It is now, looks like he's going to be expanding here pretty shortly. A factory just now going down. He's now operating on 2 gas, so we might be seeing some siege tanks here coming out pretty soon here for Puma. No add-ons yet on any of the barracks, so it looks like he's going to be saving up that gas to use on that factory, and trying to get, yes, we do actually have a 2nd factory going down now, so it looks like Puma is going to be going for a very mech heavy style of play. These two barracks now are not constantly producing. This barracks isn't producing over here, but we've got one that's making Marines at least, but it looks like for the time Puma has decided that his Marine count is good enough and is going to be focusing on those that factory tech. AAaNerchio, Ling speed now coming up, halfway done. He is controlling the Zelnog watchtowers. We can control any kind of space. Nice overlord placement here by AAaNerchio. He could actually probably do with one more over here. He's placing these here, so if there is any kind of early pressure, you will be able to see it. I think that overlord actually did poke in. No, wasn't able to see too much. Checked this little back corner to see if there was any hidden buildings there in the back, but was unable to see too much there. Didn't get to see that Puma has indeed gone for this factory style of play. We do now have the Infernal Pre-Igniter being researched for Puma. This is going to mean, more commonly, this upgrade is known as the Blue Flame Hellion upgrade. This is going to mean that Puma's going to get to have a lot of map control, especially against these Lings. Those Hellions, when controlled well, are able to do massive amounts of damage to these Zerglings, and he will be able to do quite well against them unless AAaNerchio goes for some other kind of tech. And yes, indeed, we do see the Roach Warren is now coming down for AAaNerchio, as well as an Evolution Chamber. So it looks like we are going to see a Roach build here. This is the appropriate response, and still AAaNerchio has not seen any factory tech at all, so he is just doing this blindly at the moment. He is not yet aware of any of the tech. Nice bit of control there from AAaNerchio as these Zerglings move in there. He held position right in that mineral line so that these Zerglings don't run off and try to take down this bunker, but there are 4 Hellions now across the field getting tons of kills. If we check out all the kills on these Hellions, well, those two don't have very many. There we go, 5 kills on that Hellion, and oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, I just restarted the replay. Fantastic. Let's just skip right back to where we were. There we go. Let's just get this sped up just a tad. Times 8. All I do is mess up my replays. And here we go. Now the Hellions are now moving across the field. Let's go back to that faster speed. And these Hellions are now going to move across the field. Defending for AAaNerchio right now. He still only has this one Spine Crawler. He does have 2 Queens here in position. Looks like he's getting ready in case he needs to be able to block off that ramp. He is getting up his 3rd, which Puma has not yet scouted. I wouldn't be surprised to see those Hellions come around and poke down into that 3rd there to check and see if there is any 3rd base before he moves into the natural expansion of AAaNerchio. And yes, indeed, it looks like he's pulling his Hellions back right now. He is going to be able to check this 3rd. But there are now a lot of Roaches out on the field. It looks like we have on the unit counting station right now, it looks like we have about 9 Roaches on the field, and that is going to be more than enough to be able to deal with these 4 Hellions. These Hellions do not do much damage to the armored Roach. These Roaches are armored. Little damage is done to them by these Hellions. We can see that versus light, they actually do triple the damage they do. And so any kind of units like Zerglings get very easily taken out by these Hellions. In the meantime, Puma has managed to throw up a couple more barracks. He's now operating on 4 barracks. One currently has a reactor, one with a tech lab, and a 2nd reactor is coming up, so it looks like he's going to be focusing very heavily on Marines. And we do have a couple of siege tanks now coming out onto the field right now for Puma as well. Puma continuing to be very, very annoying with these Hellions. These Hellions taking advantage of their very, very fast speed. They're much faster than these Roaches, so they are zipping in, poking all around, trying to see what kind of kills they can get, but I don't think many workers have gone down. No, we can see that very few workers have actually died this game. Now AAaNerchio moving up with these Roaches. Looks like they actually got a couple of those free Hellion kills there as Puma. A little bit of miscontrol there as he did not manage to catch those Roaches coming up on his Hellions. Now these siege tanks are out of position. They do not yet have siege mode yet, so they cannot siege up, but it looks like AAaNerchio has decided that this is way more than he can handle, and he is now pulling back. On the production tab, we can see that 16 Zerglings are now coming up, as well as that +1 melee attack upgrade. So it looks like AAaNerchio in the end is going to be going for a little bit more Zergling and Baneling style of play, which is going to do very well against all these large numbers of Marines from Puma. But Puma is now moving in. His siege mode is now completed, and he is now dropping down all his siege tanks into that siege mode. And a lot of Roaches here, getting a nice surround here for AAaNerchio. Moving in here, dealing a lot of damage, but it looks like AAaNerchio is forced to pull back as more siege tanks are moving in. SCVs are here to repair those siege tanks, and these Marines are now moving out onto creep, and the leapfrogging of the siege tanks has now begun. These units are going to be moving forward, trying to deal as much damage as they can. This is a very, very safe and devastating move here for Puma. Going to be able to deal a lot of damage and put a lot of pressure on Nerchio. Nerchio trying to get as many units up as he can. 8 more roaches now coming up. 10 more roaches now coming up. Looks like Nerchio is going to be forced to have to sit back with his units and let this hatchery take as much damage as he can allow. And then suddenly stream forward with a lot of units if he's going to be able to deal with this big of a push. There is no Baneling Nest yet on the field, so there is no way to be able to deal with all those Marines. And all the siege tanks now moving in, and Nerchio GG's out of this game. That means that Puma is going to be taking game 1, and we are going to be going into game 2, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Yeah, as soon as Puma stops shooting. There we go. There we go, game 2 right now.